guys, Icecracks here. So today is Tune Tuesday and we're back once again with another car. This is sort of an idea I've sort of had for a while, and well, the British Grand Prix was last weekend, the weekend that just went past. I thought, why not just do it now? And also someone suggested on Car Throttle. So we're going to do the Jaguar F-Type, which is a car that I've been always thinking of doing, but I've never really gotten around to doing as our drift car for this week. Not really any particular theme, but might as well do the Jaguar F-Type just for shits and gigs, because British Grand Prix, and yeah, basically it just came around, so I was like, yeah, I probably should do it. So let's get into the building of the car, because there are a lot of things that need to be tweaked and things like that, because this car is a bit of a complicated car when it comes to setting up, as it is, I believe it's a V8, and usually European V8s tend not to work as well as a drift engine. Like, maybe the exception of the BMW, but American V8s tend to be a little bit better when it comes to drifting, but we're going to work with the European, or the Jaguar's V8, I believe. I think it's a V8, I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone in the comments can go ahead and correct me. We're going to change the tyres, put them on street tyres, because I personally like street tyres. Any of you guys can run on sports or race tyres or drag tyres, but drag tyres tend not to be the greatest of all tyres for drifting. Not really going to change the width whatsoever. We're going to throw the clutch, racing clutch on, because we need those fast gear changes. Racing transmission, so I can adjust the gears, because we do play around with the gears with the tune. The gears is one of the more important things, because the Jaguar has a lot of gears, and a lot of the gears we won't use. Racing diff, the Jag doesn't have a racing diff, it's an open diff, so you got to chuck a racing diff in so we can get those tyres to lock up and get those tyres to spin. Suspension, always got to throw in the racing suspension, racing anti-roll bars. These are all important things that need to be tweaked while tuning a drift car. Anti-roll bar, suspension, roll cage, not so relevant, but I threw it in anyway to keep structural rigidity of the car, not really necessary. And we're gonna throw we're gonna go weight reduction, because weight reduction, bro. It's pretty important. This car is a very heavy car by default, so yeah. And the engine upgrades, there are a few engine upgrades, but since this car's already got a lot of power, as you can see, 410 kilowatts, 681 newton meters. It doesn't really need that much. It's just got a lot of power, but there are a few parts that I am going to throw up, like flywheel, that's pretty important. Air filter, I'm going to throw that on. Oil, fuel system, race fuel system, ignition, just to get a tad more power in the power department, but it's not really necessary. Cams, because I can increase the rev range. You can see it's gone from like 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's basically pushed it up to about 7,000, 8,000 RPM now. So the power goes longer over distance. Cams and valves. That's really all there is to the engine upgrades. All these other supercharger and stuff, it's not really necessary. Though, if you really want to go insane with the power, go ahead. But these are just optimal amounts I've tested, so yeah, let's tune the car now, because there isn't really much else to do, because yeah, all the parts are done. The tire pressure, I dropped the tire pressure to 1.2. 1.2 is always a number I like a lot. Low tire pressure means the tires can grip up when you're slowing down. Basically, you have a little more grip going sideways. The gearing is the fun part, because the gearing is really, really like just... As you can see, there's a lot of gears. There's 8 gears, so sort of had to play around with the numbers. So final drive ratio is 3.4. I had to pull it back a lot to acceleration, so I dropped the speed a lot with the gearing. And to be honest, towards the top end, 6, 7, and 8, and 5 even, you don't really need. You only need 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, just so you can launch it. Like, honestly, like, I don't get... Like, this car is built for speed, but I'm converting it to a drift car, so it's not exactly the most necessary for the higher up gears, because the higher up gears aren't going to be used because you're not going that fast while drifting. 3.6 is the first gear. 2.2 as a second gear. I had to pull back a lot to balance it out. 2.2 as a second gear. 1.49 as third gear. Yeah, there's a lot of gear finicking and gear playing around. So it's pulling a lot of gears back. 1.49 for the third gear. 1.12 for the fourth gear. Fourth gear is really just there if you need to ride embankment, say like Indianapolis, you need to ride bank, so you need a bit of the speed. And here's where the gears become less and less relevant, but I just set them up to work anyway. Like, as a gear ratio, 0.9, 0.75, 0.60, and 0.48, to be honest. Those gears are not important, because they're not going to be used in drifting. As you can see, you don't really go beyond the 378 km/h mark. You only really get up to about the 200k mark. Toe and camber, always the same things, -2 degrees and 0 degrees camber, rear camber, 0.5 degrees and -0.5 degrees toe and caster 5.7 degrees. It's always numbers that work for most setups. Anti-roll bars, I did have to play around with it because the card is a little bit heavier, so I got to stiffen it up a little bit so it doesn't rotate as much or do some weird things. So 13 and 17 are the two numbers, 17 range, because I had to play around with it. 111 for springs, I don't know, kilograms, feet per millimeter, I think. I don't know. So we set it to 111 in that range, 111 range, because just optimal numbers. I played around with it, just fiddled around with it. I tried softer, I tried stiffer suspension. To be honest, 111 is really proven for a lot of my cars actually. And 12.5 for the springs, or yeah, 12.5 for the ride height. Bring the car up a little bit. You don't want the car slammed to the ground, hitting every curb and everything along the way. Rebound stiffness and bump stiffness are always 4.1. They just makes it soft, so you can, if you hit a curb or something, or just hit something, go off track or something, you don't suddenly squirrel out of control or hit a curb. You don't lose control all of a sudden, because Circuit of Americas, those curves are well known for spinning you off. Can't really do much about downforce because I left them stock. Braking force, personally I like them having 40 and 150, have the rear tires lock up, get those cars. A lot of people run front, like in real life, you run braking force to the front so you can get the car to rotate around, but I don't know, personal preference. 80 and 60, and 80 and 75 actually. Oh, actually no, 80-60. 80-60 is usually what I run with the diff, I believe. And basically, so I'm accelerating, but I can still steer the car while going full power, so the car doesn't squirrel out of control. So I still have some form of control over the car. So that's the setup for this car. It will be in my file share. I believe it's got F-type drift or something, or you can just look up my game tag, Ice Cracks. But now let's take it to a public lobby and see how that goes. Yes, we get to slide around the Mojave. This is a track that doesn't occur very often. But we're sliding around in the Mojave Desert on the test track, and there's a lot. What are you doing, mate? Clearly you aren't. Oh my god, that guy really didn't open it up well. He slid straight into me. Oh, whatever. Going around wide. Oh god. Oh, I just slid right in front of his nose. Scared the crap out of him. Alright, come on, bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it into the tunnel. But yeah, this car, I don't mind it, but it's not preferable. I prefer my BMWs and stuff like that. But nonetheless, you can drift this car. It's driftable. There are some cars that you cannot drift. Namely, some more weaker powered cars are hard to drift, or very hard to drift. This has got a sufficient amount of power, just very, I would say it's very weirdly performance. Like, it's somewhere between, it's more geared towards racing. It's not exactly the most sufficient for drift cars, but it'll work. If you're in a pinch and you don't have any other cars, still I wouldn't really choose it. But if you're in a pinch and you only have this car and you want to drift into the guys, I don't know why. Dots just behind me. I don't know if they're deposited or got. I don't know if they got sunk or deposited. That guy's just going crazy in his GTR. I don't know what position he is in. He's in 6th. Alright, he's gonna hit the wall. Oh god, he just cooked it right in front of me. Don't turn into my path. 6th. There's only 7 drivers in total now. We started at 9. Should do a quit, I believe. Definitely opened up a lead on the guy in 3rd. So 10k points. Wall tap. That's the wall tap. Oh, the race ends. Cool. Take 2nd. So 14k point, 14k money. And 7k XP for Jaguar, which you can see I've never used before, so that's another thing. Though, as I would say, Jaguar is not a beginner's car, and It's not exactly preferable as a drift car, to be honest, because it has weird performance. I'm gonna explode it out. Looks pretty cool and stuff like that. But I wouldn't suggest the F-Type as something you use at higher tiers. Maybe if you're going for like some insane amount of points. Jaguar F-Type, not that type of car, but you can practice with it and get good with it. So I haven't really been drifting so much. So I've really been slacking off. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I've made my points and you've got the tune, so it'll be my file share if you want to go look for it, or if you've made it this far, chances are you've already built the car. So hope you guys enjoyed. Ice Cracks out.